Dee Brown. Actually, I'm the CEO of Pearl Development Group. I'm here with an awesome opportunity to talk about a film that's in production by Jake and by Adam. So,
glad to be here, Dee. We're having a good time.
Thank you guys.
Much. Nice place, by the way. We love this. What's it called?
Appreciate it. This is Gasoline Alley. This is like the urban room. So there's a lot of local artists that came and put their touch on the walls.
It's fantastic. Nice, creative, multi-use place.
Yeah.
Like that. And anytime you can express the arts and encourage people to be creative, it's good.
And that's kind of what we're talking about today. It's the arts. You can't help but talk a little bit about the pandemic because it influences every area. And as a viewer and a consumer, when videos and movies stop producing, we're like, hold up, what to watch next?
It's been tough. It has been a lot of setbacks.
So it's like, what is being done behind the scenes? So if you can tell me a little bit about what you guys are working on, maybe we can go on from there.
Well, the project we're working on right now is Kinder. It's a supernatural thriller series.
Oh, wow.
We started working as it was coming to the minds and just a concept about a year and a half ago, and it's taken about a year or so to get into production. We started last summer. Was it July or August?
I believe July.
Yeah. That bad day in the woods where we all got poison ivy. It was.
You got poison ivy.
Everybody got poison ivy there. It's a supernatural thriller series. It is about a curse from the past that comes back to present day, and it pretty much it picks up where the Salem witch trials left off, when the witches were killed, the girls and the women. It comes back to present day as a curse, like a karmatic revenge, where the girls are starting to get taken over by this demon, and it's on this mission, and it uses the girls as its slaves to go out and complete the mission. Yes.
Wow, it definitely
it's deep. We can't say too much about it, but it's a very deep thriller. Yeah. How would you explain? I mean, you've got quite the role. Jake Squires is playing the lead in this one.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you tell her a bit about it? I just wrote the thing. I don't know much.
Yeah.
Well, it's different. I as a kid, I grew up as a fan of horror movies. Mm-hmm. So he basically offered me that childhood opportunity to be the lead role in a horror movie. So I jumped the gun and I'm like, hey, I'll take it.
He keeps calling it horror. It's a thriller.
I call it.
It does have a horror aspect to it. It does. Yeah.
So, your experience thus far, has it been like deja vu? Like this is what you imagine embracing this type of script would be?
Well, to be honest with you, he just lets us do what we want.
That's a tough question. Yeah,
that's a tough question. He lets us, as long as it's true to the material that he's written, we can pretty much go off of whatever. You know what I mean? So it's been quite an experience.
Well, you know what? One of the best things about film is creativity. Creativity in the script and then the expression of it between the actors and the rapport. So it's good when you have those monologue moments or those different moments where you really just can, show the breadth of your expression. And if he allows you to do that, I'm waiting for Emmys.
that's the problem that I had. That was part of the influence and the catalyst to us starting the company and making this project and other ones is letting the actors have a little bit of creative flexibility and letting them shine and do their own thing. Let them find their comfort zone instead of scripting them and telling them what emotion to use, what face to use, how to react to a certain thing. And like you said, as long as he gets the components of the storyline and he's hitting the bullets that have to happen in each scene, I don't care what words he uses. I'd like Jake Squires' words to come out, his vocabulary.
You don't want to sound like a robot because if you're reading it off the script word for word, it just doesn't sound good.
You'll be shocked at what your actors will deliver when you actually give them a little bit of flexibility.
Freedom.
You might not get it, but that's what takes are for. You can go through different takes and you find out what you want. And Jake, among the other actors that I've casted for this film, I've always had people do their auditions 3 or 4 different ways. A different emotion, a different approach, a different mission, just to see if they can adapt and change on demand. Because flexibility and the ability to follow direction and appear to be different moods and emotions, that's awesome on set because it saves time and also adds value to the production. But you get a person that can deliver something that you haven't thought of in your mind when you're writing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get shocked. You get surprised, like, oh my God, look what he delivered. Like, I wanted something else, but that's good. Let's wrap that. Let's move on.
Right.
Jake is excellent. He does great for the character of Mike.
Oh, stop it, you.
Yeah.
Well,
you tell her about the first episode 1 that we filmed. Tell her about your experience there. You know, I'll let you talk a little bit. I'll go on all day if you let me talk. I don't care.
So we started filming Kinder in July. It was out in this place. Where was it filmed?
It was in Sterling, Massachusetts.
Sterling, Mass.
All right.
And it was quite the thing because I usually work on like smaller productions. I'm not really used to everybody around. Like this is a whole big thing where everybody's involved and they love it and they're on board for it. They want it to get picked up by a big company like Netflix or whatever.
Right.
And I'm not really a talker.
It's fine.
Being honest with you. This is my first time doing this, actually.
It's okay.
So
it's everybody has to start somewhere.
Yeah, if I come off as a robot, I apologize.
No,
He's going on the Tonight Show next week. He's got to get ready for that.
Yeah, I gotta get ready for that. I gotta get ready for Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
right. So, well, you know what? One of the things that, directors try to do is bring out the authenticity of the moment and of the character, sometimes a particular scene. So when you're given that latitude for those nuances, like, you have that voila no moment, don't cut, keep rolling.
Absolutely.
So, it's okay. It really is. So what, with all the different challenges with, travel restrictions, how has it been trying to move the cast from place to place to
Well,
get
the beauty part of this was going to be a short film, and then it was going to be a feature film, and then we decided to go the series route on Netflix and Amazon Prime. They're actually looking for more series because people like binging shows now rather than watching a feature. And the beauty of the series is that you have to have all your actors local because it's ever evolving and changing, and it's always progressing. You have to shoot more episodes.
What better time to binge a show than on it during a pandemic, right?
Yes.
This has kind of a pandemic kind of feel to it as well. So having your actors live locally in the New England area is better for a series because you can always do pickup scenes. You can always film shoots 2 or 3 weeks out with minimal notice. You don't have to plan out, put people up in hotels for months at a time. It's a little different. So it makes it easier. It's also more challenging because you have episode after episode. You don't just have one movie where you're writing it and you're going to film it, you're done. This is, we film one episode, we watch it, then we're going to change episode 2. Because sometimes Jake delivers a little more on camera than what we had in mind for the character. By the way, so you got a little burp there. That's fantastic beer. What is this? Tropical Secrets?
White
Golden
Line.
Ale. White Line, yeah.
Yeah.
First time I had. Can I take a few of these home?
Be my guest.
But yeah, having the actors live close by is key because we can always do pickup scenes. If the weather changes, we don't get the shots we need. He lives around the corner in Worcester. A couple of girls live in Connecticut. One's from Buffalo. She's far away. But everyone else is local. Sterling, Princeton, Worcester area. It makes it more convenient.
Well, you know what? It's really great to give local actors and talent a chance. A lot of times people try to pull from LA and New York like no other part of the country has good talent, and when that's not really true. The best films have a nice diversity and captures different parts of the country because we all have our feel. And Massachusetts and Boston is particular for their draw, and they're like, oh, say park the car,
Park the car.
Right.
Yeah, park the car in the yard.
Yeah. So
It is a very diverse crew that we have all cast. Yeah, we have
Cast,
two.
yeah.
We have little girls. We have teenagers. We got this guy that lives out in the woods. He's kind of a rough, tough guy. We have preppy. What was your counterpart's name there?
Paul.
Paul. I call him Paul, and his real name though. His real name. I keep forgetting his real name.
I forgot his real name.
I get a.
That's not a diss. Whoever you are.
So the character.
It's been almost a year, and
he's a little Harvard preppy type, kind of feel like silver spoon mom dad took care of my Ivy League school, with his Oxford
He's a good dude
shirts
though.
on. And Mike's Jake, his character Mike. He's an all-American boy. He's got the look of an all-American boy. He's the kind of guy that could approach your doorstep and try to sell you a newspaper.
He might actually buy it from him, right?
Magazine subscriptions. He's approachable. He's funny. He's charismatic. He's got a good look. He's the right age. Yeah. So he played that role very well. We believe in finding the right person for the role, not scripting and coaching the actor into something that they're not.
Right.
over time, some actors develop that range where they can do different types of roles. We like to find the person that best fits that role. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that sounds like a match made in heaven, and I can tell you from personal experience, being at home a lot, it's like, who has a series? What series is still going? If the series is ended, I'm upset because now I have to find something else to replace the time that took. So if Kinder is coming, Kinder sounds like something I need to, click record.
Oh, absolutely.
and keep. So my DVR gets a lot of action. So if your film has the kind of action that keeps my DVR recording, I am for it, and I think that the audience will definitely respect local talent, local faces, and just bringing a feel. Everybody is intimately familiar with the Salem, Mass, and the rich history of that, and the witch hunts and things like that. So Blair Witch Project and anything and in relation to that it's definitely a page turner and something you want to Google.
It's close to home. The witch trials happen here.
Yes.
And the problem is that I had the whole thing when I started writing this. I said, you know what? You learned about this in history and in the classrooms in school, and you've been to Salem, you've seen it, but no one told you. No one knew where it came from. Right. No one knows what would have happened if they didn't kill them, and execute them. So I've kind of written in this fictional.
What if?
Prelude to what happened, and then after what would have happened if they didn't get persecuted and tried and convicted. So it's a little bit of a filler. It's my interpretation and my look on what would have happened, and it's based on something that was real. But everyone's been very welcoming in the towns that we filmed in. They all love the history, they love the genre, and people just say, hey, use our house, here you go. Right. Use our barn, use this.
What's that restaurant that we filmed in Holden?
It wasn't a restaurant, that was a convenience store.
What was the convenience
Good
store?
Isles Convenience Store. Yeah.
Wow. Shout out to Good Isles.
Good Isles Convenience Store. Tony over there, awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Had a good time there. Yeah, the town of Sterling, it turns out, was the best setting for our town, Alastor. It's a demon name, but we call the town Alastor, Maine. Sterling is a perfect setting for that because the downtown area just hasn't changed that much over the last 200 or 300 years. It's been settled. It kind of has the same structure and look where you can change it slightly without dramatically going nuts to make it look like it took place a couple hundred years ago. And the town's administrator, she was related to Rebecca Nurse, the 71-year-old woman, the first one that was tried and killed for witchcraft in Salem.
Wow.
She was like 5 or 6 generations back. She gave us full permitting anywhere in the town, public buildings, properties to film, no charge.
Oh, wow.
It's something she just loved the story so much, and she's been great. She's been telling us about the history of her family over the years.
I didn't know that.
I don't know too much, but
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
it's pretty neat.
Yeah, when you have a local plug, it's just like another investment into, the culture of the series. And so
Exactly.
it's like, I'm really excited for you guys. Has there been any kind of twists, as you were filming that, or doing your series that you're like, oh yeah, we might have to make this one a episode in itself?
That's classified, ma'am.
Paul's attack scene. Paul's attack scene.
Yeah.
When the girl jumped on him and bit his neck. Remember the sounds he was making and flailed his
I
head?
personally
Oh
didn't.
my goodness.
I personally did not watch that. I'm not trying to bash the kid. I mean,
I can send you a clip and you can put it in post here for the video if you want to see that.
don't do that.
Yeah.
Bloopers, that'll be your own.
He's sitting there flailing it, so he gets attacked by a girl and jumps on him. It's like a zombie-looking girl.
Right.
She jumps on him, and he's like, flailing his arms around, screaming like a little girl. And the director I used, he just went with it. I look and I said, he said, Adam, we're going to be all day. Don't stop them. I just let it go. I said, okay, well, I'll figure it out in post, I guess. Just let him do his thing. It was god-awful, but you know what? When you marry the clips together in editing and post-production, you see, okay, maybe I can use this. Yeah, but that would have been a terrible scene to reshoot.
Yeah.
The mosquitoes and the...
Like I said, he wasn't a bad dude to be around,
Yeah.
I'm not
But,
trying to bash him. Right?
But real talk, sometimes, as much bravado as, guys have, there's moments when it's just raw, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that pitch, but
Everybody
we'll
has
take
their
it.
moment, but
I had a couple. We had some arguments. John Wysocki, the director we used on that one, we had some arguments on set. It got a little comical. Yeah. But yeah, it's there's a lot of scenes. We actually are, when we leave here today, we're going back to the studio and we're going to look at some of the rushes from the film shoot that we had for episode 1. And we're going to figure out what we want to change, if we want to reshoot some of it. Because Kinder's going to be like a year or so out. You're not going to see episode 1 for another year, probably.
Right.
I'd say at the earliest, October 2021. Well,
Okay.
that's this year, 2021.
Right.
Yeah.
You know. Well,
It's fun. It's fun to go on with the process, and you're always changing it. You realize, okay, here's what we shot. It's not what I wanted, but it's better.
The problem is that you and John are two completely different directors.
Oh, yeah.
Like you have, you're more freedom, ad lib, as long as it's basically around the script in itself. Go crazy. Just make sure you stick to the plot. John is very technical, like very Tarantino-esque. Like it has to be word for word by this, it has to be by the book.
That only works with the right actor, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not saying that that's like a bad director move at all. It just, with certain like beginning actors like myself, we kind of like to, go above and beyond. We like to do our own thing. You know what I mean? Leave the by the book stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to be policed and scripted. You want to have the ability just to be yourself.
Exactly.
Because I casted him to be Jake Squires. You don't know Jake Squires.
No.
I mean, Brian doesn't know him. The world doesn't know him.
Right.
So they have no expectation of him. Let him be himself. We're our own worst critics. The only reason people are uncomfortable on camera is because they have a hard time being themselves on camera. And I'll tell you what, I see just waving over there. We got time here. I got to ask you, where is White Lion Brewery? White Lion Brewery?
White Lion that's brutal here.
Where are they? Where can I go find some more of these? There's only like 2 or 3 left. I need some. Want to take them out.
White Lion is right down the street.
We got a lot of editing to do, so we could use some motivation.
Well, listen, we can definitely put you in touch with a case or 2.
Awesome.
But
I'll take a couple off.
yeah, one of the good things about Springfield is it is a city of first, and White Line is locally produced and
man. Who's that guy? I like
crafted.
him.
Yeah, asking you shall receive. So we definitely thank you for just a sneak peek behind the scenes. We would love to see like a little clip, as a teaser.
We'll send you a little teaser. Let's send a couple of rushes. I'll send you the ball scene. I like the attack scene. You'll laugh. It's kind of comical. Raw footage is better to watch than edited because you get to actually see what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time out to let us learn a little bit more about Kinder, and definitely look forward to seeing it on Netflix or whatever platform.
Thank you for having
Flattered
us.
to be invited. I love this place.